Mike aimed at a deer, then pulled the trigger, but a human figure fell instead. Both were stunned, and Mike, who had fired the shot, quickly went to check. He found that the person hit was a boy, and even worse, he was no longer breathing. Terrified, Mike collapsed onto the ground. Just then, the boy's father arrived, drawn by the sound, and was overcome with grief. Realizing Mike was the killer, he immediately raised his gun, ready for revenge. Mike tried his best to explain it was an accident, but the man clearly ignored him. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out, and it was the man who fell instead. Mike's friend, Dick, had fired the shot to protect Mike. A series of tragic accidents caused Mike to have a mental breakdown, but Dick was unusually calm. He expertly hid the bodies of the father and son in the bushes. Then, he pulled Mike away and quickly drove them from the crime scene. In the silence, Mike was still very panicked. Suddenly, Dick stopped halfway, intending to continue hunting. Mike couldn't help but ask, and an angry Dick yelled,
"You shot a child!"
"It's safer to just hunt in the forest for the day and pretend nothing happened to make the lie more convincing." They even went to a nearby convenience store, deliberately chatted with the owner, and casually mentioned they were hunting there. However, late at night, to completely destroy the evidence, the two returned to the forest. Mike was diligently digging a pit nearby. Dick was responsible for finding the bullets. He quickly found one on a tree, but the remaining one was nowhere to be found. He turned to look at the boy and touched his head, but there was no blood. At this moment, Dick understood everything, so he got ready to use a knife to dig out the bullet. However, Mike disagreed, viewing it as an insult to the body. The two quickly got into an argument over this. In the end, Mike could only quietly retreat to the car. Not long after, Dick returned. He had packed all the evidence into the trunk, and everything was cleaned up. They drove back to the motel overnight. To avoid suspicion, they rested there for a night. But when they woke up and were getting ready to leave, they heard police sirens downstairs.